What's up, everyone? Welcome back to A Line in the Stars. I'm Jordan, and we're back today with the unpackaging video of the Fanhome 1701-D. Here's where we are at. I do have a couple other things left in the package, but the big deal is we have this bad boy all complete and assembled. And what I wound up doing in between is really not much to help with the live bleed. I was able to get that bent back into place a little bit better. In the end, I know that I'm going to need to bend this frame a little bit more securely in order to get the light bleed to stop happening there. But overall, really pleased with how last month's package turned out. And so there's our saucer all put together, and then right from the very beginning, our nacelles. So as we pass by the Venator and get a nice little beauty shot going by, it's time, my friends, to say hello to the kitten. Soji, say hi. Hi, Bubba. Want to say something? No. It's time. Look at this box, though. I gotta be honest. It's seen better days. It's been the star of many plays. And she is super fascinated. So I think as she gets prepared to do some grooming and smelling, bro, we're going to go ahead and slide this over this way. Really? Soji's always at it. Let's go ahead and unpackage the D for the month. Am I right? Oh, man. Oh, yeah, that was satisfying, but then it wasn't. It was satisfying until it wasn't, for sure. All right, so I think we're at stages, 23 through 27, I think, for this month. So we have a kitten inspecting, and we're just going to go ahead and accept this. So stage number 3, or 23, would you believe? Thank goodness is a battery cover. I was like, why did they make us take the battery cover from the other one? They could have just given it to us with the new package. But there it is. We have a whole frame section. And this is one of the die cast pieces. So that's going to be, yep, where the phaser strip is. And we have a couple of lights. A bunch of escape pods, a couple of lights, and my phaser strip. So that's going to be what we're going to be doing today. Here is stage number 26. And yeah, we're just going to be assembling whole section after whole section. And I'm super excited about that. Yeah, there we go. Here is, ooh, there's some cool stuff here. So we're not just doing that only. There is a frame section for the neck. Oh, man, of the battle section. So we're going to continue moving on through the battle section. That's pretty dope. Very nice. And then we have another kitten entering stage left. Goodness me. We're doing things in here today, so they're checking it out. I got a couple of escape pods in here, an LED, and this is stage 25. That is super cool. I guess it's 23 through 26. That makes sense. We're not doing the Falcon Jordan. We only get 4 stages here. So, and then we have 24. So this will be for our next episode. We have our, I was like, is that already pre-wired? Is that an extension piece? Okay. There's the other kitten. Mochi. And Soji. Yeah, so some more lights, and then more panels, and then the neck. Oh man, guys, this is going to be pretty cool. Like, I'm excited that we're continuing to move, like, build and do things in both the saucer and the engineering sections. So, and then here's our book, and it's gonna have a heavy bad boy. Oh man, real quick, I just saw a piece of concept art. Oh, from Conspiracy. Bruh, look at that. Sick, man. It's like one of the most gory things that Star Trek ever did. Super cool, man. So, Andy Probert. Goodness me. Yeah, Andy Probert did all these designs. So stage 23, 24, 25. Here's all of our assemblies. I'm going to go thread and read through a bunch of this. And yeah, right here, this is 24. We're going to be assembling our frame for the neck. Oh, man. This is super cool, guys. I'm really, really excited about getting all of this going. So, without further ado, that's our unpackaging. It is this is what, number 8? Package number 8 has arrived, and we're starting to like really make some serious progress into this model. I'm really excited, and to be real, like the further I go into this model, the more excited I get about it, which is kind of crazy because now that we have like some real progress going, man, things are just absolutely happening, and like just the results are really putting themselves into play. So let's go ahead and move on to stage 23. We'll be right back. All right, so we are back, and we have stage number 23. I went ahead and took a look through the instructions, and one thing that I kind of find is that the instructions provided in the magazines are adequate, but not quite enough. What I've been doing since the last stage 22, in the last episode, last month, and then for this stage and every stage going forward, I'm going to be going to myenterprised.com to basically follow along with the instructions set forth there. Todd does an amazing job of putting together the instructions for all parts builds. And his website, mypartworks.com, I'll go ahead and throw a link down below in the description. Basically, for every parts build out there, he's doing them, and he does an amazing job of putting together the description. So please make sure to check out his site if you're checking along. So once again, that's mypartsbuild.com, and then specifically for this build, myenterprised.com, and that's Todd. So, what we're going to go ahead and do is go ahead and unpackage this bad boy and get started. Now, I have a disclaimer. I cannot find my electrical tape. I have been looking around for the last half hour or so, and it's been driving me insane. When I move my desk, I have no idea what to do with it. So, when we tape up, we're going to be using our AK curved line tape because I can't think of any other good use for it right now. So, there we are. We have our hull panel section that we're going to be working on today, along with our EM screws. We'll go ahead and set those aside. And, yeah, this is a really nice piece. So, go ahead and take a look at that. I really love the way the Aztecing looks on this model. It is so slight, and yet when you put all together the pieces, it just is, it's there. So now, let's go ahead and pull our piece out. Very nice. Oh, man. These die-cast pieces are just fantastic. I really love holding them. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab our escape pods. So yeah, we have, how many are we going to be doing? We're going to be doing 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and we have 10. So we're going to wind up with one extra one here. And then, you know, what I might do is I might start harvesting, kind of like I did last time. I'm going to probably start harvesting from our spares that we have, and then try to leave some of these on sprues because they're just much easier to keep all together that way. So I'm going to take a look, see how many extra escape pods I have that are loose, and then remove the rest from here. So, and then up here we have 3 dark windows, and it's probably going to be the same thing. Was it 3 that we're going to be installing? Yeah, it's only 3, but they gave us 2 extras. So it's likely I'm just going to grab 3 small windows. I know I have 3 smalls extra, 3 smalls sitting off to the side, so I'm just going to try to keep this sprue together as much as I can. We have our battery box screw. We have our BM screws, and then our battery box cover. I'm not sure why they'd made us do it that way. I mean, I get it, but they could have just given it to us. No big deal. And we're going to grab our card. Okay, So now, what we're going to be doing when we go to install our saucer or our whole panel onto the saucer section, we're going to stop for a second and do some cable management. I am kind of annoyed with the way the wires are all kind of left right now, and as you guys know, I'm really into cable management, so we're going to start there. Before we attach the whole panel to the saucer section, we're going to go ahead and take care of some cable management. So I'm going to go ahead and set this off to the side for now, along with all of the other things that we're not going to need. And let me grab my screw case, and then we're going to go ahead and get open our screws here. So we have our EM screws. Put those in the back. And if you recall, the EM screws are the flathead ones, the ones that have the round top, so that it can connect basically the reflector to the die-cast sections. Okay. We have our trusty BM screws. Thought about just harvesting these, but I also don't want to go through the trouble of it. Unlike D'Agostini, Eagle Moss gives us the appropriate amount of screws per stage, and so we're going to go ahead and just use what we get. And the extras are the extras. I actually found a random BM screw just the other day when I was looking for a part that I lost. You guys will see that soon. Yeah. I was like, ooh, look at that, a BM screw. So, and then we have our screw there. So now let's go ahead and get this process going. One of the things I do remember is I need to make sure, and this one is kind of bent down, so if you see this tab here, this is the positive end connection. And when we couldn't get the lights to kick on in the last episode, it was because this tab was actually just bent all the way up. And so this one's already pre-bent down a little bit. And that is to make contact with this electrical contact right here. So you just want to make sure that those two pieces are put together. So now let's go ahead and grab our batteries. My off-brand batteries, yes. Don't judge. Go through a lot of batteries in the house, so it's kind of one of those things where, you know, we just do what we do. Alright, now let's go ahead and tab through here. Make sure our positive is making its proper connection. Ugh. Trying to be careful with the wires here. Okay, so now it's funny as it's bent down too much. There we go. I was like, why is this not working, for the love of God? Alright. Now, grab my original screwdriver here, because I totally forgot to grab my new screwdriver set. And I haven't figured out which screwdriver head will be perfect for those, so I will do that in between sections here. We'll grab the original Enterprise screwdriver. That is almost completely demagnetized now at this point. Alright, there we go. I just want to make sure that my leads are touching right here, so I'm just going to kind of pull down on the tab. And we should be good to go with the battery box, so I'm going to go ahead and set this aside for the moment. And I'm going to go grab my screwdriver set, and I'll be right back. Okay, so let's go ahead and find out which screwdriver head we should be using. And I think this is the one we're using for the Falcon. And I think that is going to be appropriate because we're going to be going a size up on the other side. So let's go ahead and take a look. Too big. Too small. Okay. So we're going to go the next size up. Too small. And gone. Hold on. No, that's not the right one either. So let's go ahead and try this one over here. I think that's the one. Yeah, that's definitely too big over there. Too small. All right. After, you know, an amount of time, we'll just say, I was able to find the right screwdriver head, and then I went ahead and took the time to find 3 windows, so we were able to go ahead and save that entire sprue of windows. I have 1 loose escape pod and then 1 sprue of 6, so I have 7 total extra escape pods right now. And so let's go ahead and start by putting everything in. Now the cool thing is we don't really have to pay too much attention to window patterns or anything like that, as everything is going to be just the 3 windows here are going to be the dark colored windows, and then we're going to have our escape pods. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with our escape pods. We're going to make sure that the red line is facing down this way. We're just going to go ahead and push each one of those into place. Yeah, I went looking again briefly just for the electrical tape, and I just could not find it. So, it is what it is. Thankfully, I can disassemble this piece if I need to. And for sake of clarity, I'll be recording the next episode immediately after this, so that's why I would not have found the time to go get the black electrical tape. So that's that. All right, so let's go ahead and start with grabbing our curved line tape. Bruh. So I'm going to grab a piece about, that long. And I might have to grab a couple of these. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's likely going to grab a couple. And we're just going to be pushing down on the escape pods to make sure that they're seating in place properly. Then I'm going to grab another piece about that length. I'm going to come right here. Just slightly going over the edge. Grab my tweezers here. Turn it so we don't have any of that facing out or flipping over the edge. Okay, so there's our escape pods all put into place there. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. Okay, so we're gonna go a piece about yay length. Let's grab our second right now so we're not having to futz with it. Batching like activities, right? There we are. So now, I'm going to carefully put this one just towards the edge here. Getting around the screw hole there. Pushing down. Very carefully, you know. Okay. Remember, Jordan, you are using curved line tape, even if it was kind of crappy curved line tape. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut off the excess here because it's going to likely try to block that screw hole, and I don't want to do that too much. And now I'm just going to push down on the escape pods. Then grab our second piece here. do the same thing, but I'm going to be a little bit more forceful with the push. There we go. So again, like I said, I'm well aware that I should be using black tape here, but I just don't have it and don't have time today. So now this is kind of an advantageous little piece here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set this one off to the side, and then I'm going to go ahead and put these 3 windows in place. And our last one. Ooh, this might be a different size window. It is. Let me go grab the right one. I'll be right back. So this is nuts. I actually don't have the right size window for that one. 3 different sizes of windows. Interesting. Okay. So we're just going to trim one of these off the sprue. Set that aside, and then I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. There we are. Now back to our program. There we are. Now let's go ahead and grab our piece of tape and just set it right over the top. Hold it in place one, and then wherever I can, I'm going to try to cover up the darkened windows to prevent any bleed. Okay, let's see what we got. Very nice. Let's just go ahead and keep pushing in on the escape pods to make sure that they're slightly raised out over the surface, as is the effect is supposed to be. And this one is not seated properly. There we go. And I say there we go. This one is not seated properly. That's why we check our work. There is, for whatever reason, okay, sorry, kind of talking to myself. Yeah, that one for whatever reason is not wanting to sit down in there properly. I wonder what that's all about. I'm going to go ahead and pull it out one more time, and its cousin, neighbor. Yeah, everything seems normal over there, so very interesting. This one is just not wanting to seat in there properly. There's no extra flash. I'm going to go ahead and grab my cutters, however, and ooh, don't do that. Good Lord, Jordan. I need new cutters. The worst way. And I just made it worse. I'm gonna go grab another escape pod. I will be right back. So I went ahead and just throw that one away. We have plenty extra. I just don't know what that's all about. Yeah, that one just sat in there perfectly. There we go. That's why we check our work. Okay. Alright, so now we can go ahead and bring back our saucer section for the week. Alright, so here's our saucer section. And before we try to start assembling, I'm going to go ahead and move our screws out of the way here. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of cable management. This is something that's really necessary for us to do. I'm worried right now that we're going to eventually start like pulling away wires that we don't want to be pulling away from, and so on and so forth. So this one is bundled over here. I think that's kind of interesting. I'm going to unbundle this right here. I like the tape method, but I think we have enough room for... Been looking forward through Todd's stages here, and I see cable management happening there, so that's what we're going to do. And by cable management, I mean we're going to be using zip ties. So let's grab one of our zip ties here, and let's kind of figure out where everything's going and how everything is routing. I want to try to keep things making sense in the direction that they're going. I'll leave these two shorter ones out because the PCB is going to be right here in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to take all of these wires, including this one, and I'm going to leave this LED lead here at the end. Go ahead and leave that one out. And this is going to be... Let's sort of leave this wire down. Try to come to one common place for all of our wires to kind of coalesce. One that makes sense. Okay. Go ahead and create as much of a straight line as possible, starting from right about here. Okay, so I want to make sure that this LED is out from this bundle. This LED is out from this bundle, and then also hanging out from the side. Okay, so everything is going to start right here. Okay, I'll grab my zip tie. Flip it around. There we go. Instant happiness, I have to say. Okay. So now, I keep it nice and tidy. This is going to be how it's always going to be for the rest of its time. So we're going to keep these bundles nice and tight, nice and tidy. And I kind of get the sense that they're going to be coming through this way. So I'm going to keep that in mind. I'm going to leave this one out from this next bundle set. And I'm going to bundle it right here. Now, to be clear, I'm also not looking too far ahead on Todd's website. I want to keep all of this a surprise to myself. Make sure that's facing the same direction. Okay. Now, this next one and the rest are going to be, I'm going to go ahead and actually pull this up just a little bit. There we go. All right, now, tighten that one down. There we go. And tighten that one down. All right, so now let's go ahead and grab our trimmers. So that one's all nice and clean. Oh, man. Gotta say that makes me so much happier with life. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that one more time over here. So I'm going to make sure to understand how all of this is likely going to be routed. So this one's going to come over here and likely come around from this other side. So we're going to go ahead and create this channel right here for the wires. Try to push them down. Keep them there. Now, I assume that we're going to have the second channel doing the same thing here. So I'm going to go ahead and just move these two annoying ass wires out of the way. Okay, we have an LED here out, so I'm going to leave that out. Okay. We have an LED out here, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that out. And actually, I think these are the ones we're going to be attaching. So I think we will finish up the rest of our cable management after we do this next section, which makes actually total sense to me. So now, let's go ahead and grab the part that we just created, and let's go ahead and set it down into place. And then we're going to line it up. Pull our LEDs out of the way here. We're going to line it up. And we're going to use 1 BM screw right here. Oh, the one that I had attached and ready to go. To connect us into place. Okay. There we are. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move our clippers out of the way here. We're going to take these two LEDs that we just were talking about, and we're going to route them into place. We're not going to need to worry about taping them. So let's go ahead and that one clicked in, very nice. Now let's grab our other LED and then click this one into place. Oop. All right, now that one's nice and put into place. What we need to do next is we're going to go take the rest of our BM screws here, and we're going to go ahead and affix all 6 of them and all the remaining 5 into place. So I'm going to kind of take it as a star pattern approach here. I don't want to bend the metal in any way. Something that I should have been thinking about for all of our die cast pieces. So I'm going to come across 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 5. And once again, I'm not going to turn it all the way. But just where I feel it start to bite a little bit, that's where we're going to connect up. Come back away from the edge where we just were. Start to bite. Top right here. Go. And we're going to go in the middle. Going all smooth up until that point. Okay, so that one's starting to bite. Now I'm going to come back up here to the top where we started our connection and get this one a little tighter. Over here to the right. Actually, we'll go and we'll follow the same pattern. pulling in nice and evenly. Okay, one more time through. I'm going to try to cinch down at this point. Go. And there we are. Before we do our cable management, we need to go ahead and take our EM screws here and get the 4 of them put into place. And those ones are going to be what holds down the reflector to the die-cast piece. Okay. We need to be a little bit more careful here. We don't want to crack the plastic. So I'm going to take the same approach, although there are 2 panels here that are different. So we're just going to take one, get most of the way cinched down. And I'm going to try to take this approach with the model going forward. I think that it's going to be the better approach to think about how we're torquing things down. Being conscious about tightening evenly. There we go. And we'll do that on the other side. Oop. I was like, wait, they didn't give us an extra EM. No, they did. They did. Ooh. Right. And there are all our screws for the week put in. Let's go ahead and see our work. Yeah, very nice. Yeah. I didn't like how that looked with the reflector kind of hanging out. Obviously, I'm missing the phaser strip here right now. But, you know, hey, no complaints. So, that turned out really good. Let's go ahead and finish up our cable management. And that should be good for the day for this week. Do we have any excess LEDs hanging around? No, we do not. Yes, we do. So that one I'm going to go ahead and pull all the way out. Okay, so we do have one LED, so I went ahead and pulled that out, and I'm going to leave that one just kind of hanging out over in this general direction. Although I think it's going to go over to this side, so I think it's going to be better to do the move over to there. Okay. And so I'm going to conduit the wires so that they come up and then through up in this way. Because once again, I know that the PCB is going to be in the middle here. So I'm going to go ahead and push down on my wires here. Get my first bundle point. That's going to be right here. And there we go. All right. And it kind of seems like a logical conclusion for me right now because we're going to be moving on to a new, new portion of the frame here, and I kind of see like cables working their way through these different channels. So it's kind of what my brain is going, and well, where my brain is going, and besides crazy. good. And then I think we can get one more. Yeah, we'll get one more. And the non-aesthetically, the weird thing, I have one. I just went for all of the thin. As thin of, what do you call it? As thin of a zip tie as I could find. So, I'm going to pick some more of that up and some more electrical tape here before we finish the last couple episodes in this series for this week. Or before we finish the last couple episodes in this package. We're going to be able to get all four. We're going to be able to get 4 this week, 4 out of this package. So, there we go. All right, so there's our second bundle. Let's go ahead and get this trimmed off. That was satisfying to watch. So is that and that. So now we have our loose LED coming over this way. We have our other loose LED coming over that way, and then we have 2 annoying little pieces here that I'm just going to go ahead and tuck in and out of the way for now. Go ahead and do a little bend there, just so it stays there. And now, my friends, we have some cable management done, and I'm super satisfied with that. So, there we are. And that's what I got for this week. I just want to say thank you. I know there's a million things y'all could have done today, and instead you spent a couple minutes with me watching me build a model, which I think is pretty damn cool. If you guys have any questions, comments, tips, tricks, please leave them down below. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And my friends, until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world wherever you happen to be. And just remember to always live long and prosper.